Jon Foster made it to the top 20 on American Idol, but on Sunday, April 20th, he broke down, singing a song for Maggie Dunn. He had written this for his late friend, whose mother was in the audience. So, what happened to Maggie? Keep reading for more details. Jon Foster blew everyone away on the Sunday, April 20th episode of American Idol. He sang a song that he had penned for his late friend, Maggie Dunn, "Tell That Angel I Love Her." Her mother was in the audience, and at the end of his performance, Jon broke down in tears. That further added to the moment, but some did not know who Maggie was. Obviously, she was a very special and close friend, but how did she pass? This is a very traumatic and tragic story, yet Jon was able to express himself so beautifully. Maggie and her friend, Caroline Gill, were killed in January 2023. They were Louisiana residents and driving, along with Maggie's brother, Liam. Officer David Cawthron was in pursuit of a suspect when he blew a red light. The speed at which he was driving caused him to crash into the three teenagers. It killed Maggie along with Caroline, while Liam was left in critical condition. The officer was arrested, and his bail was set for $100,000. Per reports, the suspect in pursuit had allegedly stolen their father's car. Maggie's mother and sister were employees at Bruce Lee High School, while Caroline had siblings in the system. Therefore, everyone was greatly affected by what happened. This death hit the American Idol contestant extremely hard, so much so that he was compelled to write a song for Maggie Dunn. Bruce Lee High School even shared his photo and encouraged viewers to vote for him. Both girls were cheerleaders at the high school before their untimely passing. Therefore, to have the support of the school and the cheerleaders just reminded Jon why he was doing something incredibly special. The DA was appalled at what had transpired during the wreck, saying this: "Sirens and police vehicles do not give an officer the authority to cut through a red light. They must slow down or come to a complete stop when human life is in danger." In this case, evidence appears to show that the officer was grossly negligent, and the lives of these young people would not have been taken had he exercised common sense. So many American Idol fans expressed love for Jon Foster and the personal song he wrote and performed. They connected deeply with his emotions, and viewers are ready to see him hit the country scene. Great voice! Exclamation mark. The next country star for sure. Reminds me of a young Dwight Yoakam. I was in tears. Love that country voice, should definitely go all the way. I love this song, Jon Foster, great voice. The next country star for sure. Exclamation mark. This young man is so very talented. The full package. Not only did Jon prove he could sing, but he's an incredible writer who grabbed everyone at American Idol's soul. Did you have any idea who Maggie Dunn was? Does the song mean even more with this backstory? Let us know in the comments below. Chapter 1: The Beginning. Maggie Dunn's journey in the world of music began long before her appearance on American Idol. Growing up in a small town in Oregon, she was surrounded by the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. Her childhood was filled with the sounds of her mother's folk music records and the harmonies created during family gatherings. Encouraged by her parents, particularly her mother, who used to sing her lullabies, Maggie found her passion for music. From a young age, she participated in school plays and local talent shows, where her soulful voice brought her accolades and attention. Her performances became a staple in her community, and her dream of becoming a professional musician slowly formed. However, life was not always easy. Maggie faced numerous challenges, including financial struggles that often forced her family to choose between essential needs and supporting her musical ambitions. Chapter 2: The Audition. In the spring of 2021, after years of hard work and perseverance, Maggie gathered her courage and auditioned for American Idol. The experience was nerve-wracking, as she stood in line with hundreds of hopefuls under the glaring California sun. When it was finally her turn, she stepped onto the stage, her heart pounding in her chest. Maggie chose to sing a song she had written herself, inspired by her family's struggles and her dreams of making it in the music industry. As she sang, the judges were captivated by her raw emotion and unique voice. The performance felt like an out-of-body experience. It was as if the music flowed from her soul. The judges praised her for her originality and authenticity, and Maggie made it through the audition rounds, winning the hearts of both the judges and the audience. Chapter 3. A Rising Star. As Maggie progressed through the competition, she became a fan favorite. Her performances were not just about singing, they were storytelling sessions. Her ability to connect with the audience was magnetic, drawing people into her world. Each week, she brought a new interpretation of popular songs, blending them with her distinct style and infusing them with her personal experiences. But while Maggie was thriving in the public eye, her personal life was filled with turmoil. Her mother had been battling a chronic illness for years, and the weight of worry loomed over Maggie's heart. The support from her fans pushed her to remain positive, yet the fear of losing her mother nagged at her every thought. During one of the show's episodes, Maggie dedicated a performance to her mother, sharing her love and gratitude. Tears streamed down her face as she sang, moving both the judges and the audience. This moment resonated with many viewers, and Maggie's vulnerability became her superpower. Chapter 4. The Song. As the season progressed, it became clear that Maggie had a unique impact on those around her, including fellow contestants. One such contestant was John Foster, a talented singer-songwriter who was known for his charismatic stage presence and musical prowess. Initially, John and Maggie had a friendly rivalry, each pushing the other to perform better week after week. However, as they spent more time together, they developed a strong bond, a friendship that blossomed into a creative partnership. John admired Maggie's passion for storytelling through her music, and he often found inspiration in her life. He would sit with her during rehearsals, listening to her aspirations, fears, and the stories behind her songs. It wasn't long before John decided to write a song specifically for her. The song was called Light in the Dark, and it encapsulated Maggie's journey through her struggles, her unwavering hope, and her love for her family. The lyrics spoke of resilience, capturing the essence of both Maggie's character and her personal story. John presented the song to Maggie, who was moved to tears. In that moment, she realized the depth of their connection and the impact they had on each other's lives. Chapter 5. The Performance. The night came for Maggie to perform Light in the Dark on the live stage. The anticipation was palpable, both among the audience in the studio and those watching at home. She stood backstage, feeling the weight of her emotions, knowing that this song was not just a performance but an homage to her mother and all the struggles they had faced together. As the spotlight shone on her, Maggie took a deep breath and began to sing. Her voice soared through the auditorium, filled with tenderness and strength. Each note resonated deeply, weaving a narrative that left the audience spellbound. John accompanied her on the guitar, and together, they created a beautiful harmony that encapsulated the song's message. The judges were silent, their expressions a mixture of admiration and empathy. When Maggie finished, the studio erupted into applause. She had poured her heart into that performance, and it showed. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. Light in the Dark became a pivotal moment in Maggie's journey. The heartfelt performance resonated with many viewers, sparking conversations about resilience and the power of love through music. Maggie's popularity surged, and she found herself receiving messages from fans who related to her story and the challenges she had faced. However, the rise to fame was accompanied by scrutiny and pressure. Maggie's personal life became a topic of interest, and although she appreciated the support, it also intensified the stress she was experiencing. The fear of losing her mother loomed heavily over her, and the pressure of performing on a national stage added to her anxiety. As the competition progressed, Maggie faced the difficult decision of how to balance her burgeoning career with her family's health struggles. Each performance became a delicate dance of maintaining her passion for music while prioritizing her responsibilities as a daughter. Chapter 7. The Turning Point. As the season progressed towards its finale, tragedy struck. Maggie received news that her mother's condition had worsened significantly. The once hopeful outlook had turned grim, and Maggie was faced with a heart-wrenching choice, to stay and fight for her mother or to focus on her dream. She confided in John, who had become not only a friend but a support system during this tumultuous time. John encouraged her to follow her heart, reminding her that her music was a way to honor her mother's memory, regardless of the outcome of the competition. He suggested that Maggie dedicate her final performance to her mother, a way to channel her love, fear, and hope into something beautiful. Chapter 8. The Finale. The grand finale of American Idol arrived, and Maggie stood at the threshold of her biggest moment yet. The lights dimmed, and the audience hushed in anticipation. As Maggie stepped onto the stage, she felt the familiar wave of nerves wash over her. But this time, she held onto something deeper, a sense of purpose. Maggie chose to perform "Light in the Dark" as her final song. With every note, she sang not just for herself, but for her mother and every person battling their own struggles. The raw emotion poured out of her, and as she sang, tears filled her eyes. John watched from the side of the stage, proud and hopeful. When she finished, the audience erupted in applause, but Maggie barely heard it. All she could think of was her mother and the love that had propelled her this far. The judges, visibly moved, praised her for her authenticity, her courage, and the beauty of her performance. Chapter 9. A New Path. Though Maggie didn't win American Idol, she garnered immense respect and love from fans around the world. Her journey had struck a chord with so many, and she was offered opportunities to record albums and perform nationally. However, her heart was still heavy with concern for her mother's health. In the following weeks, Maggie balanced her new career with caring for her mother, finding ways to incorporate her experiences into her songwriting. The music she produced was a fusion of her personal stories, emphasizing the themes of love, loss, and resilience. John remained a steadfast friend and collaborator, helping her navigate this tumultuous time while also encouraging her to pursue her artistic vision. Chapter 10. Legacy of Light in the Dark. As time passed, Maggie released her first album, titled Light in the Dark, which was a compilation of songs reflecting her journey. The title track quickly gained attention, and its powerful message resonated with countless individuals facing their own struggles. The album was not just a collection of songs, it was an embodiment of Maggie's journey, her trials, her love for her family, and her unyielding hope. Fans reached out to her, sharing their stories of resilience and strength, and how her music had touched them in profound ways. This connection formed a community around her work, where vulnerability and authenticity were celebrated. Maggie began performing regularly, and each show became an opportunity to share her story and uplift others. By sharing her struggles and triumphs, she had created a space for others to be open about their own experiences. Through her music, Maggie cultivated a legacy of hope and strength. Chapter 11. Personal Growth. As Maggie grew as an artist, she also found herself growing as an individual. Her experiences with American Idol, her family's struggles, and her friendship with John shaped her perspective on life. She realized that while achieving her dreams was important, staying true to herself and finding joy in the journey was even more critical. Maggie took time to reflect on her values, embracing her authenticity rather than conforming to the pressures of the music industry. She began to explore various styles of music, pushing herself creatively while staying connected to her roots. John continued to be a constant source of support, and as they collaborated on new tracks, their friendship evolved into a profound artistic partnership. Chapter 12. A New Chapter. Years later, Maggie stood on the brink of releasing her sophomore album, an extension of her journey and evolution as an artist. The themes of love, loss, hope, and resilience had transformed into powerful anthems that would resonate with a broader audience. The release of the album was met with anticipation, as fans had followed her journey from American Idol to this moment. The lead single, Finding My Way, became a massive hit. Its lyrics spoke of self-discovery, strength, and the importance of taking one's path, regardless of the obstacles faced. As Maggie prepared for her upcoming national tour, she looked back on her journey with gratitude. The trials she had faced, the friendships she had formed, and the music she had created all shaped her into the person she had become. Chapter 13. The Impact of Music. Maggie's story became a source of inspiration for many, as she often spoke at music festivals, charity events, and community gatherings. She emphasized the healing power of music and how it had played a significant role in navigating her struggles. Collaborating with mental health organizations, she used her platform to advocate for awareness and support, particularly for those facing challenges similar to her own family's journey. Her openness about her experiences created a safe space for individuals to express their feelings and seek help. Through her music, workshops, and storytelling, Maggie sought not only to entertain but also to connect and heal, proving that every note and lyric has the potential to touch hearts and evoke change. Chapter 14. Full Circle. In a beautiful twist of fate, Maggie found herself back on the set of American Idol, this time as a guest mentor. The new contestants looked up to her as a source of inspiration. She shared her story, reminding them that their journeys, with all their ups and downs, were valuable experiences. Standing in the very spot where she had once poured her heart out in front of millions, Maggie felt a surge of emotions. She addressed the hopeful contestants with wisdom born from her struggles and triumphs, encouraging them to be authentic in their artistry. Music isn't just about the fame or the glory, she told them. It's about connection and healing. Always remember that sharing your story can inspire others and create a sense of community. You're not alone. Chapter 15. A lasting impact. As the years progressed, Maggie Dunn's influence on the music industry grew. She was celebrated not only for her artistic talents but also for her dedication to using her platform to uplift others. Her journey inspired emerging artists to share their authentic selves, knowing that vulnerability can lead to profound connections with their audience. As she stood on stage one night, performing to a sold-out crowd, Maggie looked out at the sea of faces illuminated by the lights. She remembered her mother's unwavering support and the struggles that had shaped her. Each song she sang was a tribute to that journey, a message of hope, resilience, and love for all those who found themselves lost in darkness. Maggie had come full circle, and the song John Foster wrote for her had become a beacon of light in her life and the lives of countless others. The impact of Light in the Dark would forever be a reminder of the strength found in vulnerability and the power of music to heal, connect, and inspire change in the world. And with that, Maggie Dunn continued to create, layering notes over stories, forging connections with people through the unbreakable bond of music, thriving in a world where love and resilience triumphed over darkness.